Hi everyone, I'm Jona from One Pip Wonder, and today I'm going to be reviewing Miyabi from Haba. So this was a gift to me from Haba. I've been reviewing a couple of their games over this summer, which has been such a blast. Huge blessing to me and my kids, and now to my family and friends as we've all been enjoying Miyabi. If you are interested in checking out any of these games, you can find them on their website. You can use a discount code to get 10% off. One Pip Wonder Haba. I'll put that in the description below. Now, I don't get any proceeds or anything from that. I just want to offer it to you because I have been sharing a lot of Haba games. So if you're thinking about maybe checking them out due to my recommendations, please use that because I'd like you to be able to save a little bit through my channel. This is a 2 to 4 player tile placement game, and it's recommended for ages 8 and up. In this tile placement game, you will be Zen gardeners, and you're going to be placing these Tetris-like tiles onto your player sheet. On your player sheets, you will see a grid, and down the rows of the grid, you will see different pictures of items that can be in your garden. There's a red tree, there's rose bushes, there's pagodas, and whatnot. At the top of the grid are little sections for lanterns to sit. At the beginning of each round, there'll be a certain amount of tiles pulled out of the box and placed onto the table face up for everyone to see. These will be the tiles that you will play with for the first round, and everyone will have a chance to select a few of them to place onto their player board. Now, with tile placement, there are a few rules. First of all, if you pick a tile that has a red tree, that red tree has to go in the row where the red trees are. Also, the tile has to stay within the grid. Once you've placed a tile, a lantern has to go on the picture of that tile. Once you've placed a lantern in a column, you cannot place another tile in that column until the next round. Once players have placed all their lanterns or have decided to pass because they didn't want to place a tile, there will be a new round. New tiles will be pulled, and there will be a new first player for that round. If you're playing a 4-player game, you're only going to have about 4 rounds. At the end of that 4th round, there'll be end game scoring. Now, it is important to mention that there is during the game scoring, which you score as soon as you place your tile onto your player sheet. Say there's 2 red trees on your tile, then you'll get 2 points. Now, scoring is very fun because it isn't just one dimension, it's 3-dimensional. So as you place your tiles, you can actually place tiles on top of each other as well, as long as the tile is placed completely on other tile. You can layer up as high as you'd like. The higher your layers go, the more your points will add up. If you're laying tiles on a second layer of tile placement, then you will get double the points. If you lay it on the 3rd level, then you'll get triple the points, and so on. There are bonus points that you can work towards. If you're able to get up to 5 levels, you'll get extra points for that. So at the end of the game, everyone is going to look at their Zen garden and see who has the most of the different pictures. So for example, with the red trees, everyone's going to count up and see how many red trees are showing when they look down at their garden. So if someone has 10 red trees and they have the most out of all the players, they'll get the bonus points for that item. And whoever has the most points, is highest up on the scoring track at the end of the game, will be the winner. So when I first heard about this game, I was told that the designer was by the same person that did Azul. And I thought to myself, Azul's a bestseller. I haven't heard much about Miyabi. It's probably not nearly as good as Azul. So Miyabi has an abstract strategy feel to it. It's not an abstract strategy game, but you get the feeling that you have the responsibility to make the most of your game because everybody else is in the same boat as you. Everybody has the same community pool of tiles to pull from. Everybody's gonna have a chance to go first. So there really isn't a whole lot of luck in this that you can kind of point to as the reason you lost. You're also competing with your friends for the same goals, but ultimately it's up to you to figure how you're going to fit everything onto your board and what's the best way to build up. This game just strikes the right chord for me. I love the feel of competitive puzzling. There's a lot of my favorite games are like this. It actually reminds me a lot of Number 9, which also has tile placement and the layering element where your points get multiplied as you go higher. It does take a little bit of time to get your head wrapped around the fact that this is not a tile placement game where you want to fill out your board. You want to build vertically, not horizontally, if you want to win. And that can be a little hard to grasp when we're used to tile placement games like Patchwork and Azul. This game is just different. It just makes you kind of think about tile placement differently. I have to say the components are simple. And at first I was kind of surprised. These player sheets are on cardstock. I appreciate the simplicity in the components. At first I was annoyed, but I'm like, this is actually kind of hard to find, a game that isn't decked out, doesn't have tons of plastic in, doesn't have this overproduction that we see in many games today. Alright guys, so this was by Michael Kiesling. He's the guy that designed Azul. And I know it doesn't really make sense to criticize other games when you're reviewing, a completely different game, but I think it is fair to bring it up because Azul is one of the best-selling board games out there. It's extremely popular, and all of the sequels that came after did very well. And I have to say, I was almost a little turned off when I heard he was the designer because I played Azul and I liked it okay, but I never bought it because all my friends had it anyway and I just didn't fall in love with it so much that I felt like I needed my own copy. And then I played the stained glass Azul that came after and I didn't like that at all. And I haven't even bothered to play Pavilion. So I was like, is this gonna be in the lane of Azul, like a sequel to Azul? What is it gonna be like? I like this way better than Azul, the original one. There's none of this community pool where there's some left over that no one wants to use because you can't score them. Every tile you get is gonna give you points. There's really none of that oh man, I just got a whole bunch of negative points, which happens in Azul. It's just good, and I just liked it pretty much on every level a little bit more than Azul. So I would say that's a pretty good recommendation. If that gives you any context, let me know if it's helpful, and I'd love to hear your feedback on that. So, okay, so that's Miyabi. Am I gonna recommend it? I do. If you like tile placement games, it might mess with your brain a little bit. If you're kind of new to it, I would highly recommend it. If you're a fan of this designer, I would highly recommend it. The only thing I would say is I just wish we got one more round. Whenever I play it, whether it was with 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, I wanted one more round. I think that's probably a testimony to how good the game is. It doesn't outstay its welcome, but it does kind of want you to it makes you want to play it one more time, I guess. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. Just do it. If you forget, you won't see my next video, so it'll be a bummer. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. The green space can go to, as long as the tile stays on the grid. As long as the tile is placed within the grid. So you can place this, the tile can go anywhere on, you can place your tile wherever you wish, as long as you're matching the picture to the row and that your tile does not go, I'm not quite explaining this. I think I'm gonna start over.